Hey guys, a couple weeks ago I picked up this scope. Well, actually I got it for free. Went to a holiday party, January 30th, and they were giving away quite a bunch of cool stuff, and I ended up winning this. I think it's a used scope. It didn't come with a box or anything like that, but it's a Bushnell 1.5 by 4.5. I think it's just a hunting scope, but I wasn't really sure what I was gonna do with it, so I decided, since I didn't have any other rifles I wanted to put it on, I was gonna slap it on the SKS, just cause why not, I guess. I don't know, it was a free scope, so figured might as well. So I started doing my research on the scope mounts. Came up with this UTG SKS tactical profile scope mount. This is a highly tactical item. It's very tactical. This is gonna make my gun really cool. No, I just it seemed like to be the best scope mount option out there. It's made out of all steel, Picatinny rail. You can see through there, so you can still use the iron sights as backup, because I'm not really sure if that scope's gonna last too long. I don't even know if it's gonna even hold a zero, but they made other options where you can bolt onto the receiver up here, and I didn't like the idea that something that would probably lose zero pretty easily. Not that this thing's going to be a tack driver, but I figured if I can get an all-in-one unit, might as well go that route. So a lot of people on Amazon, where I bought it from, I got like 17 bucks. So, you know, hell, if it works for a week, I'll be pretty happy. A lot of people bitched about this thing not fitting properly right out of the box into the SKS. Those people are a little crazy. These guns weren't made to high tolerances. There's a lot of different companies that made them. It's pretty sloppy, so nobody wanted to file these things down, or they were bitching about doing that. So I fully expected this thing to not fit my gun, and it didn't right out of the box. So what I have to do is I have to file down these edges here. And in the instructions, it tells you that you're going to have to file it down, so I don't know why those people are complaining, but I may have to also file down these little ears here. So I'm going to take this receiver off. If you guys don't know, there's a little lever or a little pin. Flip up, pull it out, and there is your factory receiver. And I don't know if you can tell, probably not on camera, but you can definitely tell that this one's a little wider than this one on the back end. So ear-wise, they look pretty similar there. I don't know if ears is the correct term, but that's what I'm going to use. So pretty cool, I guess, for 17 bucks. This thing's a hell of a lot heavier than this one, obviously. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to file this down first on either side, just a little bit at a time. I don't have my Dremel because my battery and charger for it are MIA, so I'm just going to use this good old bastard cut file. So, but I won't bore you with all the metal shavings and whatnot. So file it down and we'll see if it fits. Alright, sweet Lord, that was almost 45 minutes of filing. Of course, I was doing a lot of filing, doing a lot of checking, but I did end up having to file off these ears, unlike I thought I was going to have to. And I also did file off these sides, as you can see. That wasn't as much of an issue as these guys were, though. It's hard to get this thing to focus, but that was quite the pain, no doubt about it. But it does fit. Oops, sorry about that. It's a lot tighter than the last one. I'll show you. This is the old one. That fits on there pretty straightforward. Let me get this pin. Lock it down, and you can, there's play in it, no doubt. Pin pops out really easy, comes off really easy. This one, on the other hand, is unbelievably tight, and I could keep filing on it, but I don't want to because I want to keep it as tight as possible. But you can see on this one, there is no play at all. So was a success for sure. So next thing we got to do is this scope mount came with rings already. They'll just fit on like so. We'll tighten those down and put some Loctite on them. We'll get the scope on it and we'll be set to go. So I'm gonna get that done, and once again I'm not gonna bore you with that tedious work. It's pretty straightforward. You just take these two screws off, top pops off, plop the scope in, set your eye relief. I'm gonna have to figure out exactly where I want my stock adjusted at, because depending on what I'm wearing is gonna affect that. So that's unfortunate, but we'll plop the scope in here, throw some Loctite on those, throw some Loctite on this nut here, and we'll be set. Alright guys, got her done. You can see there. Pretty solid mount. I'm rather impressed with it. I mean, it took me 45 minutes to get the filing down and everything, but like I said, I was test fitting it after just a few strokes of the file just because I didn't want to end up taking too much off. But I would say so far it's a good product. All the reviews on it online, just as far as fitment goes and everything, I think people just have an unrealistic expectation of this thing being able to just come right out of the box and being slapped right on the gun. For $17 for the mount that comes with scopes, scope rings, yeah, you can't beat it. I would say it's definitely worth it so far. Haven't been able to get out and shoot it, obviously. Probably won't happen for a little while. At least probably 2 weeks or so. But I do intend to get it out there and shoot through it and see how it goes. Eye relief wasn't a problem. Right where it sits, it's perfect. Right there with the stock extended as far as it is. It's perfect. You know, this SKS, I'm not going to be sitting there shooting it up at my shoulder running around or anything like that. This gun's not made for running around, running and gunning. It certainly can be used for that, but that's definitely not the purpose of this gun. That's why I have the bipod on there, just because it's heavy. It's a heavy gun, so you know, it's pretty easy to get comfortable with where the scope's at, because you're probably going to be laying down when you're using it. I can't imagine a situation where I'd be running around and not being able to go prone, where I'd have to use my scope out to, you know, past 100 yards. If something's out past 100 yards, I'm probably going to be able to go prone or kneel or whatever and get a better position. So eye relief's perfect on it. That, you know, that's part of the scope too, but the scope's not a very nice scope. I think it's only like a $70 scope, so for me it was free, so I definitely can't complain. That thing could not work and I'd still call it a fine piece of equipment. So first impressions, it's great. UTG, I'd say so far you make a good product, and if anybody out there is bitching about it, just about the fitment of it, well, they probably shouldn't be trying to slap on aftermarket parts on their gun, because especially with their SKS, my experience is nothing fits right out of the box, except for maybe the stock. But even the gas tube I had to do a little jerry rigging. So thanks for watching, guys. We'll talk to you later.